Hello kids, it's me again, back with another video. Drag Race is finally over after 7,000 years. And of course, much like last season, which you should definitely watch, I have some thoughts about it. So first though, I asked you all how you thought about the winner of this year's main season of RuPaul's Drag Race, Willow Pill, and of the 13 people who answered the poll. Most of you said that it was rigged, which is interesting. I'd like to hear more about it in the comments below, please. If you think it was rigged or if you think it was just fine, please let me know. I want to read about it. I am going to say right now, personally, I didn't really have any strong feelings about it, but some people definitely did. So let me know. Now, I shall be giving my thoughts about season 14 of RuPaul's Drag Race. 14. First, I'm gonna just be talking about the season as a whole, not really about the queens yet. Okay, so first and foremost, the main promo image of RuPaul in the coiffed hair and the peach dress, for some reason that really reminds me of Earthbound. I can't quite put my finger on why, but I'm gonna put two images side by side and hopefully you can see what I see, because that is what I see. I think it's because her skin is really shiny and reflective in the picture. That's why it makes me think of that. But let's move on. The gimmick of this season, listen, I liked the promo of the whole Candyland theme. That was nice. I played Candyland a lot growing up, so I could resonate with it. But the chocolate bar, it could have worked. It could have worked, but the fact that so many queens were saved throughout the season and just didn't go home, or they went home and then they came back, just kind of cheapened the effect of the chocolate bar. It wasn't giving what it was trying to give, because nobody was going home. If they were going home, they were coming back. We were getting double Shantaes for no reason, and the effect that it was supposed to have just wasn't there. So this season's gimmick was just not great. I honestly kind of like last season better, where they had the whole dichotomy of winners versus losers. I feel like that was more interesting in a narrative way, but also if they do want to do a split premiere, then I don't know, I just like that better. This season it wasn't hitting like it was supposed to, unfortunately. Also, the whole top 5 thing, I was watching actually a compilation of all of the winners of RuPaul's Drag Race. I want to say up to I think it was only up to season 11, so it's kind of outdated, but all the winners last looks of their seasons. And in season 1 they had a top 3, and now here we are 14 seasons later and there's a top 5, and I think that was too much. Honestly, it would have hurt me to see either Willow Pill or Angeria go home, but one of them had to go, right? The final lip sync. What was even the point of having a final lip sync if neither of them were going to go? Because I bet the producers, aka the drag gods, they knew that nobody was going to be going home. So why not just reveal, oh, all of you will be making it to the finale, instead of the whole emotional turmoil of lip syncing against your best friend, and then now all of a sudden both of you are going to the finale. So I didn't quite like that. Again, it's not giving what it needs to give. In the Snatch Game, of course, it would be remiss of me for not to talk about the infamously really bad Snatch Game. I feel everyone wasn't equally bad, but everyone was bad, and that includes Deja Skye, because even though she technically won, I still was not laughing. I was laughing because of how just ridiculous everything was. Honestly, okay, no. I like Lady Camden's William Shakespeare. That was funny to me, but it still wasn't doing enough for the judges, apparently, or I guess for RuPaul. And then the whole Little John thing continuing throughout the season, it wasn't that good to begin with, so it should not have. I don't know. I don't think anyone should have won. Everyone should have lost, including Deja. But she was just, I guess they had to have a winner, and she was the least worst of the bunch, so they made her sit back, relax, and enjoy the lip sync gauntlet. So that was fun for her, I guess, but no ma'am. So this is only my second season of RuPaul's Drag Race that I have watched live. My first introduction to the series was through watching All Stars 2, which I think for a lot of people is probably their favorite season, and was a really good introduction for me, because that's what got me into it. because fun, it's just Aaron trivia. I actually started being really into Drag Race and like drag in general after working for Valnet for like a week, and that's a video that you should also definitely watch. It's resonated with a lot of people, and I still get people commenting on it being like, hey, I saw this video and now I'm not gonna apply for Valnet. So that was really interesting and also a little unexpected that happened. But anyways, it's neither here nor there. Of the 2 seasons that I've watched live, which would be last season, season 13, and this season, I think I liked season 13 more. I just think, I don't know, I like the cast more. There's more memorable people, because I feel like this cast kind of, there are a couple of people who just faded away, just into the ether, never to be heard again until the reunion. So I don't know, I feel like there's a lot more strong personalities in the last season, which isn't to say that none of these personalities were strong. It's just, I guess they weren't strong enough for me. And then the fact that this season dragged on for so long that the queens who were eliminated early on, I literally forgot about them. So that's not great, but hopefully next season is better. One can only hope. Towards the end, I was just waiting for it to be over. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is taken so long. This started in like January 7th. Oh my god. It premiered January 7th, and here we are almost in May. We're almost halfway through the year, and now it's finally over. It's been going on for a while, what can I say? So now we're going to get in how I feel about the queens, which is more in line with what I did last season, which again, watch the video. I'm going to be going in order of when they were eliminated. So here we go. First queen out, Miss It's Chocolate herself, June Jambalaya. Honestly, earlier on, I did like her confessionals, but I think that's it, which is unfortunate. And then again, she left so early on that she just kind of faded away into nothing. I did like her talent show look, and I liked her talent show talent. That was nice, even though her thing kept like falling down into her eyes. And honestly, I think they need to do more regular season talent shows. Maybe not as early on, maybe like a middle season thing. But yeah, I do like that. Second out, Alyssa Hunter. Honestly, when I say faded away into nothing, Alyssa, as soon as she left, gone out of my brain. I just forgot all about her until eventually, like, oh, the reunion came around. I was like, oh, I just completely forgot Alyssa Hunter was even in this show. Like, she had some interesting confessionals too, and she had some nice looks, but it just wasn't enough. She just did not stick out for me, and that's so terrible. Like, wow. I am really sorry the drag gods did that to you, Alyssa, but no thoughts, head empty. That's all I can say. Cornbread, who left of no fault of her own, but of her ankle. Honestly, as soon as it began, I was rooting for Cornbread. Like, I could tell that she was gonna make it to the end, but unfortunately, she injured her ankle. She got the Eureka O'Hara edit, except she's not gonna be coming back next season, which is, I was gonna say it's unfair, but I don't know whether or not this is Cornbread's decision. If it wasn't, it's unfair. If it was, then that's up to her. She can do what she wants. And I also saw a headline somewhere that she quit drag. I don't know how accurate that is. I'm gonna have to look into it a little bit more. I feel like, honestly, at the very beginning, it was Cornbread's Drag Race, okay? She could have went all the way to the end, and honestly, she could have won. And when Willow said thank you to Cornbread's ankle, she meant that, because she knew there was no way. It was either going to be Willow versus Cornbread, or Willow was going to be out at some point earlier for whatever reason, and it was just going to be Cornbread all the way to the end. Yeah, it was really sad that she injured her ankle and had to leave. It was honestly so unfair. And oh my goodness, I remember the episode when that happened. I had like completely forgot that Drag Race was on, and I was like in bed, and then I started up the episode like 10 minutes later and was like, hold on, we're missing somebody. Where's Cornbread? And someone on Twitter informed me that she had to like leave because she injured her ankle. It was so lame. I hated that. Anyway, Orion's Story is a drag queen that exists, and that's kind of all I had to say. Honestly, Orion was more no thoughts, head empty than Alyssa, because when she left, I was like, again, who is that? Oh, I did not even know she was there. Like, I don't know, man. For some reason, and I don't mean this in like a mean way, but to me it felt like Orion was just like tired all the time. She gave off very sleepy vibes, and I don't know, there wasn't a whole lot of energy. And I mean, her drag was fine, but it's just she did not stand out at all to me. I don't know. I really would like to see what her audition tape was like for her to get on, because if she was as sleepy in it as she was in the show, then who are these casting producers? Like, did they just need a filler? I don't know, you know. Madalena Morphosina. Honestly, Maddie Morphosis is the person who convinced me to become a sibling rivalry patron, because I remember watching an episode of the podcast where I don't know if it was a podcast or like sibling watchery, where they were talking about they're gonna have a Patreon exclusive about Maddie and the first cis straight drag queen on Drag Race, and I was like, oh, I need the tea. So I got into that cousin tier. I'm a cousin. Hello, fellow cousins and siblings. Just to see what they would say. And honestly, they were more level-headed than I thought they were going to be. I thought it was going to be spicy. It wasn't. It was actually a very reasonable take. And honestly, Maddie turned out to be one of my favorites. She was low-key, like, super funny. And I did like her drag. I don't know how I feel. I don't know how I feel about the Payless flats on the runway. That was a choice. And you know what they say? It do take nerve. And it took nerve for that one. But aside from that, and well, I mean, was that the one that she had to make? That was like a design challenge, right? The patchwork quilt Joseph in the coat of many colors dress. So yeah, that one was busted, crusted, and dusted. I don't know what was that. That was definitely constructed. If I'm wrong, that is super embarrassing for Maddie. But yeah, I liked her drag. She, I think, fit in really well with the other queens, and of course she was inherently interesting because first straight dude in drag on Drag Race, I should say. And of course she and Jasmine got the only fight out of them, and honestly it wasn't even that much of a fight, especially not like last season on Untucked, because they made up like immediately after, which is good because that's like a healthy thing to do. But I'm watching reality television. I want claws, okay? Not making up immediately. Gosh. Anyway, I liked Maddie, all of that to say. And honestly, when she left, I was like, okay, she had a good run on the show, and I knew she probably wouldn't be making it to the end, but I feel like she could have gone one more episode. However, her one runway definitely deserved to take her out. But I think it would have been interesting to see what she did for Snatch Game. That would have been something. Carrie Colby. She's an icon, she's a legend, and she's in the moment. Now, come on now. What else needs to be said? Honestly, I did like Carrie a lot. She had good confessionals. She was just really nice in general. She had good look. One of those looks I remember being distinctly crusty. And once I remember what it is, I'm gonna put it on screen so that you know which one I'm talking about. But one of them was just like, I think it must have been the constructed look. The one they had to make, because that one, it wasn't, no. But all the other ones that she had was nice. I thought it was interesting that she did have Jennifer Lopez's actual dress, but it wasn't the original. If it was the original, it would have hit extra hard, but it was like the revival version, which was interesting that she had that. But yeah, and honestly, out of, you know, everyone on the cast, I kind of expected Carrie to get Miss Congeniality and not Cornbread, because Cornbread, #1, was not there that long. And I mean, hey, I guess it doesn't matter, but I don't know, to me, because Cornbread was actively like beefing with Jasmine. So I thought, you know, that would knock her down one thing, because she was like mad at Jasmine. Like, anytime she opened her mouth, she was just like, why are you speaking? And I mean, I guess, you know, even Jasmine herself said that, yeah, she does talk too much. I gotta tone it down a little. But I don't know. Carrie was just, everybody liked her. And she transed everyone's gender. So you'd think, you know, she would get Miss Congeniality, but she didn't. She's probably close though, if I had to guess. Now, I can't remember, but I think they said it was voted on by the queens and not, you know, fan favorite. So I think she should have got Miss Congeniality, just saying. Cornbread is definitely deserving of it, but as far as being universally congenial with everyone, Carrie should have got it. However, if they did vote on it, then I guess, you know, they voted on it. That is their Miss Congeniality. Can't do much about it. Jasmine Kennedy, you know, despite her being hated by Cornbread for speaking and being just a little, oh my goodness, I just remembered something that Jasmine did. She was on the runway getting critiques, and she was like having a moment, and RuPaul started to talk and she interrupted her, which is just classic Jasmine Kennedy, interrupting other people. And RuPaul of all people, oh my god. Despite the fact that she just does not know when to zip it sometimes, Jasmine was kinda, she was up there with my faves. You know, I liked the majority of looks that she had, including the fabric wrapped around her body, as said by Diabetica. I didn't think that one was that bad. I mean, it didn't really take that much effort, I guess, compared to Diabetic, but it still looked fine, in my opinion. Then again, I don't do drag, so what do I know, I guess? But I don't know, I thought she was fine. I liked her lip syncs. I thought it was interesting that she was throwing it back to, what was it, Aretha Franklin? So that was a choice. But you know, that's what she does. She can only throw it back, so. And I think she's going to be in the Drag Race on Vegas production, which is honestly perfect for her. She's like made for that. Surprised, well, I can't say I'm surprised because I don't know whether or not this is the case, but I feel like Georgia's having like a Vegas like residency with, I guess Drag Race Vegas, or I don't know what the show is called. I forgot what it's called. I'm sorry. But Georges and Vegas, I think, are great. Jasmine, I think, would do great too. But yeah, that's great for her. She's moving on up, you know. Speaking of Georges, I thought Georges was fine, even though, you know, some of her looks were kind of samey, but she was always serving on the runway. You know, even if her look wasn't that great, she was still selling it. She was selling the garments, okay? Again, great dancer. One thing that I saw while looking on the wiki is that I'm actually older than Georges. I'm 1 year older. So that feels so weird to me. Like, I don't know why, but like this cast is really young, but like I'm older than Georges. Only by a year, and the same age as Jasmine Kennedy, but which is also weird to think about too. That was interesting to consider. Honestly, again, I like her moves, I like her looks, but for me she's just kind of middle of the road, you know. She's not No Thoughts Head Empty, but I don't know, I don't have a lot of strong opinions about her. Deja Skye. Now Deja made it really far in the competition, farther than I thought she would, which was interesting to me because for me personally, Deja just kind of faded into the background. Despite being there, she turned into Orion's Story and she didn't even have to leave. That was interesting for me. And honestly, aside from her like Chanel look, and I'm struggling to think of another one, maybe the first look that she had for like the first lip sync, where RuPaul called her a lip sync assassin and she lip synced literally once. Like that was a little early and a little strange. I don't know where that came from. Maybe that like blue and like black look, that one was nice, but aside from those two, I don't know if I really liked any of her looks. And to be like a well, I don't know if she's perfect. She makes garments, and to be a person who makes garments, to have them not fit is odd. Like, why don't they fit? I don't know. I don't know how far in advance people get looks made for Drag Race or make looks for Drag Race, but I don't know, some alterations just needed to be made here and there. And then I guess some of the looks just weren't hitting on much. I mean, I like the Chanel one because it's obvious like reference to fashion, and then the shoulder pads were very extended and it was very, very camp, you know, it gave what it needed to give, but everything else for me just wasn't it. And I mean, she had her moments, she was funny sometimes, but like they said on the show, she's just very like dad jokes, and that doesn't, I'm not into them. I think that's kind of why she faded into the background for me. Even though she is the winner of the infamously bad Snatch game, like I said before, the bar was on the floor, so it was really anyone's game at that point. Diabetic. Honestly, her trajectory for me, in my opinion of her, was unexpected, because at first I was like, she's first of all, she went home first. I can't remember if hers was the first or the second episode. I really can't remember. It's been literally months, but we'll say for the sake of argument, she went home first, and she was like, you know, in the beginning she really was kind of a clone of Crystal Method. I thought they looked super alike. As time went on, she kind of made a space for herself, which was nice, but in the beginning she definitely was struggling to set herself apart from Crystal Method. And then of course, you know, the whole going home first thing. So I wasn't quite a fan of her. And the fact that she just complained all the time about everything. That was starting to grate on me, but then at some point it turned around and I started to love it. Like, I love a messy person on a reality show. And that's what she was, just messy. Cause I guess Daya was getting kind of shoehorned into the villain position, but she wasn't being mean to anyone really in particular, and she wasn't even really being mean, she was just being messy. There's a difference between being mean and being kind of a messy, catty person, and Daya was just a messy, catty person, and I love that for her. And it took her all the way to the finale because she went all the way. I will say I did like some of her looks. They were giving what they needed to give. It's just early on, I'll say like first couple of episodes that she was in, it was giving Crystal Method, and she was just like, why does everyone think I look like Crystal Method? When she was kind of doing her makeup a lot like Crystal Method and sort of giving the same vibes, so it was like, you know, look around you. Why do you think that? You know? But eventually she learned and she got better and she stomped her way into our hearts and the finale, so it worked out for her. She's my underdog favorite, I'll say that. So up next is Bosco. Now honestly, I was kind of rooting for Bosco in the beginning because out of all the queens on here, I had already had some knowledge about Bosco because there's this tattoo artist on Twitter that I followed named Stafari, and actually I have one of her artworks. Oh, I don't want to take it down. I'll show it. There's this artist that I've been following for honestly a while, since 2016, and I think at some point she moved in with Bosco, so they like used to be roommates. And I always thought the name was weird because in my mind Bosco was like, I think it was like the name of the food pantry in my hometown. That's where I kind of had the connection from. But yeah, I'm a Bosco hipster. I knew her before she was on Drag Race. I was kind of rooting for her, you know, just from the fact that she's like literally the only name that I like recognized out of all of these queens. As time went on, I was rooting for her more. She's very funny. She was the narrator of the season, the best confessionals in my opinion. I liked a lot of her looks. She had a consistent theme and she stuck with it, which is great. Listen, I know the bra corset panty combo was starting to get a little old. For some reason, I think it was the first one that she did with like the yellow jacket. That one really reminded me of like Dragon Ball Z, which is why I liked it so much. The other two were meh, bland, flavorless, unseasoned. So I didn't really care for them, except for the mirrored one. I mean, listen, if something is like mirrored, it's gonna be cool. Therefore, well, okay, I don't think it was like mirrored. It's more like metal chrome type thing. I liked it for that, but it's still kind of unseasoned. I was glad actually that she got the golden chocolate bar, which was like nice because she got, you know, second chance at things. But again, by this time that we had the golden chocolate bar, it's like, okay, we saved one queen again for like the cajillionth time. And it's like, if you wanted this golden chocolate bar to have any kind of effect whatsoever, there's no suspense, there is no build up. Even if they don't have the bar, people are gonna get saved in some way or another anyway, bar notwithstanding. So like by the time she did get it, I was glad because it was like, oh, this is one of my faves, she's staying. But the bar had no effect. The whole gimmick of the season was just poorly executed. That's all I can say. But I am glad that she got a second chance at things. She really shined, I think. Angeria, Paris, Van Michael, Saint Laurent, Dupree, Iman, The House Down Boots. Her name isn't even particularly that long, honestly. I mean, it's a lot of syllables, but it is only like 3 names. I do like that running joke. It's funny. It makes me hee hee ha ha. Therefore, I am repeating it here. Angeria is very polished. She comes from the world of pageantry, where I guess you have to have that polish, you know. But for some reason, and I'm sure some of you are gonna know what I'm talking about, in the coming up previews during the episode, they'll have this really shady edit, specifically of Angeria, where it's like, oh, I don't know if I can do this, guys. I'm struggling with this. And then on the next one, they'll have like the harsh critiques, and they'll pair it up with like her reaction shots, when in reality, for majority of the challenges except for Snatch Game, which I mean, to be fair, everyone did bad, she did all right with them. So why was there the need for every episode, nearly every episode, to edit her in a way that it seems like, oh, inner saboteur is coming through, I don't know if I can do this, oh, I think I flopped, you guys. Even for Catwalk, where she legit did not know any of the moves, she still did great. So like, was there a need for that? Like, you couldn't vary it a little bit? Because I feel like, I swear they only did that for her, like consistently. Maybe they did it a couple times for some other queens, but but I specifically remember them doing it for her, and that was very shady because Angeria is very polished and is kind of good at everything almost, you know, so I don't know why they did that. But as for Angeria herself, I did like her. Very funny, again, a lot of hee hee ha ha queens on this season. A couple queens who thought they were hee hee ha ha but were very mistaken. But yeah, I feel like Angeria has such a natural, nice charm to her. It's like, wow, how could you not like Angeria? You know, how could you not like her? Down to the final two, we have Lady Camden, our first runner-up of the series. Honestly, she was kind of, at the beginning, she was starting to fade into the background, just kind of being like a background character. But she was honestly a sleeper hit, because at some point, when she hit us with the that's when we knew, okay, I think we need to look out for her. I think she has a place in this competition. And I guess I'm a little biased because I can appreciate a little ballet. What can I say? I don't know, I didn't really expect to like her because, again, fading into the background, but as soon as we got to the finale, I was like, yes, she definitely does deserve to be here. Congrats, first runner-up. And now to the winner, Willow Pill. So I don't know if you guys remember this from last season, but I think Got Mick kind of got this edit, or I guess this kind of storyline or through line where she was kind of just good at everything. Like, she was good at makeup, she was good at making looks, I guess. Basically, Got Mick kind of got the edit where she was just kind of good at everything. And I feel like Willow Pill didn't quite get this edit because she didn't really talk about how she was good at everything, but she was just good at everything. Making stuff, being just irreverent and funny in her own unique way. In Willow's case, actually, her edit of her being good at everything actually worked out for her because now she won and Gottmik did not. No shade to Gottmik, by the way. She's a very strong contender for the crown. It's just that the fact is that she did not win, but she also got the same edit. So don't take this as me not liking Gottmik. I think she's a fine queen, and I honestly did like her a lot on her season. Honestly, Willow Pill, she was just kind of, I don't know, she was kind of out there, but you know, being out there isn't like immediate negative points for me. It just wasn't hitting at first, but then it did start to hit. I was like, okay, I see what she's bringing to the table. This is someone to watch, and it certainly was someone to watch. She made it all the way to the end and won, so it worked out for her. That's everyone. Final thoughts. I'll talk about the finale a little bit. I thought, you know, I really liked how they did last, okay, not last finale, but last reunion, where each queen had like a little video that they presented, because Tamisha Iman's and Lala Ree. Tamisha Iman and Lala Ree's songs are my favorite, and honestly I still go back to them on YouTube every so often. This time in the reunion, it was like a more traditional reunion, which was great. You know, we got Spice, which is fantastic. It was no season 9, but listen, I don't think anything will add up to "You Don't Love Me." Nothing's gonna compare to that, so it's a little unfair to compare it to season 9, but you know, it gave reunion, and it needed to give reunion. I thought it was interesting. Okay, so for the finale, all the queens had to make a song, but they didn't record it. They got whoever they get to do the musicals, I guess, to record the songs, which is fine. But I think they should have to record them, like use their actual voice, you know? I thought it would have hit better if it did that, because then they're just like lip syncing. But I mean, they would have been lip syncing to their own songs, but I don't know, I just thought they should have recorded it themselves. I think overall this was a decent cast, but again, the gimmick was poorly executed, and they either need a better gimmick for next season, or they just don't need a gimmick at all. Just give us nothing. That's what I want. I just want no saves, no game within a game. I just want regular 8 episodes, clean, succinct, and then I can like move on. This is far too much. Not even 8, 10. We get 10 episodes. 10 episodes is fine. I'm tired. It's been 84 years, and it's just been far too long. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't talk about Untucked very much, but I kind of miss spicy Untucked. So I don't know if you guys know this, but Untucked for season 6, 7, 8, and 9 are all available on YouTube. I don't know if they're still available, but I did watch them all last year. And I really like those Untucks because, I don't know, to me, it seems like on, I guess, the more recent Untucks are being like fed things to say, whereas on the older ones it's just like raw, uncut, untucked, just like whatever is out there, you know. They're just kind of chilling backstage waiting to go on, and then they have conversations and they feel natural instead of being like, so the producers told me to ask you guys, how do you feel about things, you know? I just like the old Untucked better, when they were more raw and spicy and they weren't concerned about, you know, it being RuPaul's best friend race, because now it really is RuPaul's best friend race. And like, I get it, because some of these fans are undomesticated and feral with the way that they treat these people on television. So like, on the one hand I get it, but on the other hand I hate that it's become like that, honestly. I liked it when it was more spicy, but unfortunately we have feral people sending death threats for Drag Race competitions. That's weird. Weirdo behavior. It's weirdo behavior. I think it needs a reinforcement. It's weirdo behavior. I won't be watching the all winner season because the winners that they picked, it's just not, it's not giving, you know, it's not what I thought it might be. I mean, they are all winners, but Jada Essence Hall literally like just won, it feels like to me. So I don't know, it feels really recent for that. Also, the main reason I won't be watching it is because it's on Paramount Plus and I can't use like my parents' cable subscription to log into it, so like, ew, stinky, no thank you. That's honestly the main reason. But again, this season dragged on for so long. I need a break. I need some time to watch some old compilations, see some new compilations that people have made, and like hype myself up for next season. And I guess watch, I feel like they used to do the pit stop for, I think they do the pit stop for All Stars, but obviously Monet won't be doing it. Well, actually, I don't know, she might be doing it and she'll be on the season, which is interesting. But yeah, the only way I'll be watching the all winner season is through the pit stop and meme edits. So that'll be fun. Honestly, in conclusion, let's just hope this next season of Drag Race is better, because this one just wasn't giving what needed to be given. And I'm really excited to see who might be on the cast for next season. So that is all I have for today. Well, hold on. I'm a little far this time, so I gotta go higher. Follow me on Twitter, read my Medium articles, and listen to my podcast with me and my best friend Joseph. Probably won't be talking about Drag Race on it because he has no interest in it at all, but I think it would be fun for us to do a video where I show him drag queens and he has to guess the name of them. That would be funny because he doesn't know any drag queens. So if you would like to see Joseph guessing drag queens, then let us know in the comments. I will show the comments to him and I will coerce him into making a video like that, so let me know. Now, if you don't excuse me, I'll go eat this rice that I just made and it's just been sitting here. I don't even know if it's still hot. I hope so.